talked about him being a champion at a lower weight class. Well, 125 is the highest he's weighed in his career. So he's anxious to move up to 126, and maybe you get one of those title shots you talked about. Now, Baez has fluctuated between 118 and 130 in his last 5 fights. He lands at 126 and a half.
Well, fans, from the MGM Grand Garden Arena here in Las Vegas, Nevada, Premier Boxing Champions presents our next attraction in the ring. Once again brought to you by Canelo Promotions, TGB Promotions, and Showtime. Presented by Hennessy, Never Stop, Never Settle, DraftKings Sportsbook. Not with the only top-rated sportsbook app that matters, and Resident Evil. Welcome to Raccoon City. Nothing spreads faster than fear, only in movie theaters. Introducing our 3 judges scoring this bout from ringside. From Nevada, Eric Cheek. From Connecticut, Glenn Feldman. And from Oklahoma, David Sutherland. Introducing our referee in charge of the action, our 3rd man in the ring, Raul Kais Jr. All right, fans, here we go. 10 rounds of boxing scheduled in the featherweight division. Introducing to you first on my right, fighting out of the red corner, wearing blue trunks with white trim, hailing from Mexicali, Baja California, Mexico. He weighed in at 126 1/2 pounds. His record, 21 wins, 4 losses, 1 no contest, with 12 wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, here's the crafty contender, introducing Leonardo Báez. And his opponent across the ring on my left, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing white trunks with gold trim, hailing from Otumba, Mexico. He weighed in at 125 pounds. He is undefeated in his campaign in the ring with a record of 34 wins, no losses, 22 wins coming by way of knockout. Tonight making his Showtime debut, here is the veteran of 6 world title appearances and the former WBC Super Bantamweight Champion of the World, introducing the undefeated Vargas.
Vámonos. Las cosas.
And a referee in charge now to give instructions, Raul Kais Jr.
Protector vocal. Protector. All right, gentlemen, you received the instructions in the dressing room. Know what I expect? A good, clean fight. Ya recibieron las instrucciones que una pelea limpia. Golpe legales, here for you. Legal punches, here for you. Touch gloves, go to both of you. One set de los dos.
Vargas and Baez in good hands. Referee Raul Kais Jr., a 22-year pro, working his 640th professional fight.
And speaking of good hands, Nacho Beristain, the Hall of Famer, training Ray Vargas.
Listo! Listo!
Bell and round 1, Vargas co-trained by Beristain and his father Carlos Vargas, while Baez trained by Rogelio Franco. And Baez, well, he says more than anything he's going to bring the aggression and a high work rate. Abner, for Vargas, it's all about that stick.
Yeah, the jab, and he uses it really well. Like Al mentioned earlier, he's got well schooled by Nacho Beristain, who teaches technician, a technical fighter, your distance, great combinations, but from a great distance.
Beautiful left hook to the body by Vargas. Again, no ill effects after the broken leg while running in the mountains. That was back in 2020, and looking to bounce back here after the longest layoff of his career. Al, 34-0 with 22 knockouts, but when you look at his style as he goes to the body, it kind of is a little deceptive.
Yeah, it's interesting. You know, he's not always in thrilling fights, but he gets a lot done offensively. And we see that in round 1 here. Look at how much he's done.
He's being very aggressive.
Yeah, to the body and the head. You know, they both throw about 66 punches per round. They both land 18 per round. But better opposition for Vargas than Baez, as you pointed out.
Lightning quick hand speed from Vargas. Then slowing the pace. Again, not everything has to be a fastball. There are many pitches that you should have in your arsenal, to use a baseball analogy, Mr. Baez?
You know what, Baez is known to be an aggressive fighter, a fighter that keeps coming forward, hard-nosed fighter that, you know, will take two to give you one, but it's Vargas' stick, like you mentioned, the jab. He won't let you in. And I tell you from experience, because I boxed Vargas before. I trained with him. I used to train with Nacho Beristain, and this guy would not let you in.
At his best, effective long-range stylist, exploiting the massive height and reach advantage and going to the body diligently here in the opening round. Less than a minute remaining.
Yeah, if there's a surprise at all, it's the amount of body punches Vargas has thrown in round one.
Baez being battered by Vargas. And Baez's twin brother, Eduardo, 122-pounder. He's going to face Raif Alim on Showtime Championship Boxing coming up November 27th underneath Stephen Fulton, Brandon Figueroa. Figueroa has the belt that used to belong to Vargas.
Yeah, exactly. You know, Vargas is 122-pound champion, as you said, many great Mexican champions, and that division is on fire, and we've been chronicling it on Showtime Boxing.
And Fulton Figueroa has the chance to be one of the best fights of the year. And Baez throwing himself off balance, lunging towards Vargas as we come to the end of a good round for Vargas.
Thank you.
Take a look at what Rey Vargas needs to do in this match, or keys to victory. Establish the jab. It's an essential part of his weaponry, and we've seen it already. He has also already controlled the range perfectly in this match, and we haven't yet seen the right hand from him. Instead, we've seen more left hooks and uppercuts from him. He has a pretty good right hand. Now, for Baez, he's got to move his head as he advances in so that he doesn't get picked apart from the outside. He didn't do this in round one. He's got to get inside where he can fight off the chest of Vargas. Now, Vargas has been put down and stunned by some left hooks. Baez needs to get that punch going. And by the way, 3 times Rey Vargas has been knocked down in round number 2, so let's be vigilant for that.
Was that foreshadowing Al Bernstein? Mauro Ranallo, Al Bernstein, Abner Martis, Brian Custer, Jim Gray, and the Showtime Championship Boxing crew on a special Saturday night here in Las Vegas, an historic night culminating with pound-for-pound king Canelo colliding with the undefeated Caleb Plant to determine the first undisputed champion at 168 pounds as we begin round 2 between Vargas and Baez.
Baez is staying put too long, too much. He's got to work his way in. He's not doing so. He's staying at range that benefits Vargas.
Cuidado con las cabezas, cuidado con las cabezas.
Vargas measuring with that jab, and Baez befuddled, trying to find a way to get around it. Trying to find a way to close the distance, which would be easier said than done against a guy like Vargas. 71.5-inch reach. Baez, 67.5.
Yeah, he's so tall for this weight class.
Oh, but that's how you do it by Baez.
Nice combination of the best win that Baez has against Moises Flores, who's a contender and a former interim champion. In that fight, he showed a lot of the combination punching we just saw.
And Baez also issued the first loss to 2-time Argentine Olympian Alberto Melian in 2019. So he's proven that he deserves an opportunity on this stage. But Abner facing again one of the best at Rey Vargas.
Good Vargas, but you know, Vargas giving Baez the opportunities to come in, and Baez maybe not biting into that.
Oh, double left hook.
Feels that Vargas might get him with something, but you know, Baez has to walk in.
And the missing piece is, just a moment ago we saw Baez double jab. If he jabs his way in, he might get inside.
I know, and he can.
Yeah, he is capable of it.
Especially when Vargas is not using that jab, making it easy for you to get in. Well, get in, work the body, Work your uppercuts and get out.
Vargas able to land a lot of punches as again Baez lunging in, throwing himself off balance, now smothered. 30 seconds left in the second. Ray Vargas in control. Man, lead left hook, right hand, lands another left hook by Vargas. You can hear those shots, guys.
No.
Yeah, bad intentions from Vargas. Clean punches. A few more hitting the gloves, but
10 segundos, para la campana.
Vargas with the power.
Oh, right hand lands by Baez at the bell. Let's go to Jim Gray.
All right, Mauro, thank you very much. Back here with Caleb Plant. Caleb, when you know you're fighting somebody great, is there a different antenna?
Yeah, you know, great fighters, when they face other great fighters, are going to bring out the best in them. And so I'm excited for tonight because, you know, you're going to see the best version of Caleb Plant.
And the nerves, are they present now, and when do they go away?
Nerves is a big word, but, you know, I guess you could say nerves. It's a lot on the line. You know, we both, you know, me and my team, we've worked really hard. And, you know, we're playing for all the marbles, so.
You said something interesting before we came on this interview. You said it's the best of 7. I was thinking like an NBA Finals,
yeah.
First to 4, but 7 rounds to 5. When you're in this fight, are you conscious of that, or are you just actually focusing on punch by punch?
You know, I'm just focused on the task in front of me. So, you know, best of 7, you know, we were saying that. But, you know, at the end of the day, it's just my job to go out there and win the round, come back, sit down, and then go back out there and win the next round. And so just taking it a round at a time, staying relaxed, staying calm, and getting the job done.
Real calm right now. Caleb, we'll talk to you after the fight. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
All right. Back out to you, Mo.
All right, Jim, the calm before the proverbial storm. And speaking of storms, Baez storming into round 3.
You know, the last 7 of the last 8 wins by Vargas have been decision wins. He normally goes the distance. And even though he's been setting down on his punches, and there was a nice left hook by Vargas. He's not by nature a knockout puncher, and of course he's fighting at a higher weight.
22 of his 34 wins, but you're right, more of a long-range stylist, although he is approaching tonight's fight like he wants a finish.
Yeah, you're right, and those uppercuts, you know, he's throwing them with, he's getting a lot on those punches.
Under the left, right eye, blue corner, box.
So Baez has been cut, and I believe that is the first time in his career that he's been cut.
And you have to assume that came from a punch because they haven't been close enough to clash heads.
Well, they're getting close now, and Vargas is getting super close, but now Baez going to the body, and Baez getting an opportunity to unload Abner.
See, and those are the opportunities he's got to take advantage of. And he did so right there, but you got to get on top of Vargas right away. You can't give him that gap, that space for Vargas to take advantage of the distance again.
One of those fights where the defense rests.
Baez needs to be fighting off his chest regularly, not just on occasions.
Vargas utilizing footwork, feints, trying to set a trap and going on the attack and landing some of those jabs. Under a minute left here in the 3rd. For Baez, his wife Stephanie expecting their 2nd child next month. They have a 4-year-old son named Edwin, so it would behoove him to continue to get the bigger purses.
He got that baby out of
wow, that was a big shot.
Nice uppercut right hand from Vargas.
Stop, break.
And again, that's fault from Vargas. I mean, from Baez, who is standing right in front of him.
Both missing wildly.
The one thing about Vargas is when he throws the right hand, he lunges, and that should give Baez a chance to counter him.
Nice chopping right hand by Vargas, but you're right, Al. He definitely lunges. Both exchange body shots. Oh, and Vargas backed up, but Baez again throwing wildly, not setting up his attack as we head to round 4, scheduled for 10.
Well, maybe it was a clash of heads that created a cut. Let's see. Yeah, how about that? I said it probably was a punch, but it kind of Baez grabbed him and unfortunately pulled his head right into him. Later on in the round, Vargas from range doing good work. Jab, that of course a big part of his weapon.
You got to throw punches in the middle of the ring. Don't go to the corner, in the middle. And you got to work a little more when you're inside, okay? Work it.
Vamos, vamos, no te me cierres la cabeza. Tú puedes.
Box.
Round 4, and a big shout out to our other Hall of Famer, Steve Farhood, letting me know that, Baez has been prone to cuts over both eyes. So this one from a clash of head, but he has spilled blood in the past.
See, I want to see a little bit more aggressive Baez. Baez got to start working that jab, work his way in, but he's not. He's staying put. He's staying at range for Vargas. And, Vargas, doing everything he wants to do. Jab right behind the jab.
And one of the surprises in this match is that in terms of body punches, Vargas has landed 22 body punches, only 6 for Baez. And that number needed to be reversed for Baez to be effective in this fight.
Yeah, Baez not giving him much, for Vargas to worry about.
Vargas has landed 50% of his power shots thus far, which again, for a guy known for his jab, Al, you look at the stats, a little surprising as Baez comes over the top with the right. But again, against an opponent, there's levels to this.
Yeah, and then Vargas does it really well, especially when Baez is trying to pressure now, which is good. But Vargas, again, on the other hand, you got to give it to him. He pulls back straight, 2 punches, and he comes back.
Oh, vicious rip of the left hook to the body by Vargas.
Baez just has gotten 1 or 2 right hands in. When he throws that overhand right, some of them are getting there against Vargas. He just needs to throw it more often. He tried there.
Yeah, and especially when Vargas goes for the body. He does it from a distance that does not benefit Vargas. He pulls his hand down, and Baez has to take advantage of that.
Man, but Vargas been body rocking like the Beastie Boys, man. A lot of work he's been attacking that body like it's filled with candy, Abner.
That was a feint by Baez. He's trying different things now, which is good. Now he's got to do something off of that. And there he does try with the right hand.
Oh, blistering hand speed in the combination from Vargas. Man, double left hook to the body.
There's that body work, but Vargas then again he puts his right hand down.
Vargas is fishing for a knockout, Mr. Bernstein.
I agree. I think he is. He'd like to get one, make a statement, tell him he's ready at 126 pounds. Even though he's moved up in weight, I can challenge for a title.
And he's not looking bad for being a guy that's been out for 2 years.
Yeah, and let's not forget that Baez, 3 of his 4 losses have been by KO. Sharp jab, uppercut.
10 segundos para la campana.
Let's go to Jim Gray.
All right, Moro, here with Canelo Alvarez. Canelo, do you think about the historic impact of this fight before the fight?
Yeah, I always thinking about it. When Eddie and I looking for do undisputed fighter, I always thinking about. So I'm gonna be in the books of the history of boxing.
What will it mean to you should you be able to achieve it?
No, it means a lot because at the end of the day, that's what I want, make history. So for my legacy, this fight is huge.
You've had a lot of big fights. Where would you say that Caleb Plant stacks up in terms of an opponent?
Yeah, an opponent. I don't know. I need to see. I need to see tonight. But the magnitude of the fight for me maybe is the best fight of my career.
When you dislike somebody, do you look to punish them, or is that all behind you now?
No, of course, always. I try to punish them as much as I can.
Born ready. I'll never forget that.
Yeah,
Born
never.
ready.
I was born ready.
Here we go. We'll talk to you afterwards, Canelo. All right, back out to you, Mauro.
All right, Jim, thank you very much as Baez and Vargas resume trying to punish each other. And for Baez, he's really a fighter without a home. And when I say that, over the last 5 bouts, he has fought from 118 to 130.
Yeah, he's been all over the lot, and you know, as we said, he landed at 126.5 for this match. And you know, the problem with that is you don't get to settle where you want.
And then again, you know, Vargas is a 122 fighter, moving up to 126 as well.
That Vargas body attack is something.
He's now up to 35 body punches landed, and those are, as you point out, he's getting a lot of leverage behind those body shots. And that's been maybe the biggest surprise of what we've seen him do.
Wow, that was a good right hand from Vargas. And doing everything he wants to from a distance.
Yeah.
Baez not giving him much of a fight. And, you know, you can't take away from what Vargas is doing also.
Yeah.
You know, we're saying that, I mean, Vargas is doing, you say that Baez is not trying. Maybe he is, but he just can't get in because
he's absolutely trying, but Vargas is lighting him up.
Well, Vargas has dominated, you know, in his fights just like this for the most part.
I mean, for a guy who's been stopped 3 or 4 fights, Baez can take a punch and keep coming forward.
Yeah, he's been hit with good shots by Vargas.
But it speaks to what you've said, Al, because even though Vargas has 22 knockouts, I mean, he's throwing some heavy leather, and Baez keeps coming. Yeah,
and recently, again, he has not been able to, as we said, get knockouts, Vargas. You know, it's been winning decisions and winning dominant decisions. You know, the cards are always stacked in his favor in a big way.
Maybe he's missing a little bit of a killer instinct, you know, from Vargas. But no, you know, he throws his punches really well. Yeah. You know, I think he should just wait for the right moment, set up traps. I think that's what he should do for this fight. You know, he's feeling comfortable landing combinations. But set up a trap, wait for Baez to get in.
Vargas again turning 31 November 25th. Lower weight classes, when you hit 30, it's the beginning of the next stage in terms of your prime, right, Al?
Yeah, and you know what? It's interesting though now.
The long layoff?
Yeah, you know, and also now fighters in the lower weight classes seems to be fighting a little longer in their prime than they used to. I'm not sure why that is, but it seems to be the case.
Wow, they're just swinging. And Vargas doing a good job of escaping Baez, and Vargas is connecting while Baez usually isn't.
One of the moments that didn't go well for Baez in that last round was when he got hit with that jab and then the elbow.
Oh, the shoulder strike.
Yeah, shoulder strike. You've seen 1 or 2 of those in your MMA.
Floyd Mayweather's done a few of those in his career.
Even in boxing, right?
Yep.
And that mouthpiece went flying, but a veteran move by Vargas.
There. You got to start getting in a little more. And you got to attack. Come on. You got to go right and on top of him. Let's go. He's not quicker than you. You're getting desperate, so just go inside and start working. Let's go.
We begin the second half of this 126-pound battle, scheduled for 10 rounds. Through the first half of the fight, Ray Vargas has enjoyed the advantage. He's landed just over 100 punches now as we begin the second half of this affair.
And as you pointed out, landing a very good percentage of his power punches, which is everything other than a jab. 46%. Man, that right hand Vargas just landed was a beauty, and Baez took it.
Yeah, you know, Baez's face is leaking, and so is his defense, Abner.
Yeah, it's now Vargas really picking his shots really well now. He sees that Baez comes in with his head down. Hey, welcome with an uppercut in right hand.
Let's bring in our unofficial scorer, Steve Farhood. How do you have it at the midpoint, my friend?
Mo, to paraphrase ZZ Top, Vargas has a reach, and he knows how to use it. All Vargas, easy fight to score, 5 rounds to 0, 50-45 Vargas.
So we've had the Beastie Boys, ZZ Top. I'll tell you, every
How weird is it that the only
pop
member of
culture
ZZ Top that didn't have a beard was named Beard, Frank Beard, the drummer.
That's true.
And, well, Baez's beard is being tested by Vargas, that's for sure.
You're the master of the segues.
Box.
Been doing it since I was 4 years old, so let's get this party started, shall we?
You were
I was practicing segues, just like Vargas has been practicing target practice on Baez in this fight, Abner.
Most definitely. Again, you know, from the distance that Vargas, you know, creates with that jab. You know, he even measured him with that jab first and let go of the right hand because Baez is stationary.
And Baez is angry.
He tried.
You know, I know they urged him to get on the inside, but you need to say more than that.
Oh, good right hand over the top by Baez.
And that overhand right's been a key. You need to tell him, jab your way in. You need to tell him, remind him of the things that will help him get on the inside. Earlier, Baez threw 2 or 3 jabs to the midsection to try and get his win. That's a good effort as well.
Yeah, it's not just taking 1 step, 2 steps forward, and then you're pressuring Vargas. No, you got to really pressure him, make him think, jab your way in. Right hand, again, combinations once you get in the inside.
Baez has to do a better job of managing distance for sure.
Yeah, and you know, now Vargas is using even more lateral movement and Baez unable to cut the ring off.
And it's Vargas with a tremendous display of utilizing his jab and his reach to dictate the distance, dictate the terms of this fight.
Ray Vargas is a very good combination puncher, and we're going to see example now. That Baez trying to jab his way in, which we've talked about. But look,
all right, Carter, around the sticks we have.
And you know, and a really good right hand by Vargas, as you know they exchange it. The thing about Vargas is it's not like he's not setting down on his punches to try and hurt Baez. He is.
Let's move it. You got to throw more punches. What's going on here? You want to lose? Get it dirty. You know, let's get a dirty fight going. You need to throw more. Let's go. You got to get really mad. Don't get too crazy, but go in. Alive, you can do it.
Box.
Round number 7, and given the career-long layoff of Ray Vargas, 28 months, steady work rate here tonight.
Yeah, showing no signs of ring rust, and it's been a superb performance by him.
It has been good style for Vargas to come back. You know, again, you know, Baez trying, but Vargas doing a fantastic job by staying in the outside. The jab, look, moving.
And I think, you know, Vargas has fought world-class fighters. His opposition's been excellent. And, you know, Mauro talked about the levels. He's on another level from Baez right now. But this is where Baez is making a few things happen. Good for him.
And Vargas, considering the pace, may have just given him a false hope, because Vargas now ripping to the body. Baez coming back with a left hand. Vargas wanting to make his first fight in Las Vegas memorable, and these two Mexicans going mano a mano.
I like this from Vargas.
Oh, yeah. He's taking a few punches that he maybe didn't take before, but he's trying to get Baez out of there. Baez has landed some good power punches, though.
Left hook, right hand through the guard by Vargas. Creative, crafty combinations, Abner.
Yeah, and you can tell Vargas feels so comfortable. Again, you know, he lets Baez in. All right, get in. Let your punches out. But guess what? I'm coming back with stronger ones.
And even though I haven't been on social media for 2 years, Al, considering how effective Vargas has been, knowing that Baez has been stopped 3 or 4 times, does the pressure build for Vargas to stop it?
Yeah, that's a very good point, you know, because Baez is not a world-class opponent. He's a good, solid veteran fighter, but not world-class. And the problem for Vargas is this is the way he fights. And, you know, it's not like he has a set down on his punches. You know, he's throwing good punches. Baez just won't go anywhere.
Yeah, especially in this round, he sat down on his punches. He's look at the Baez face.
Yeah, right.
And it's just, you know, it's the 7th round, so, you know, the fight's not over.
And we mentioned 7 of the last 8 wins by Vargas have been by decision, so it's becoming the norm for him. It's also becoming the norm for him to literally win just about every round in almost every fight. And that's what he's doing here tonight.
Stop! No. Levántate. No knockdown.
Referee rules it a
box.
No knockdown. Both fighters have been down 3 times in their respective careers. Baez again going on the attack, but it's all Ray Vargas. Here at the MGM Grand Garden Arena, one of the cathedrals of combat sports, getting ready to make history in tonight's main event.
Well, this is as close as anything good happening to Baez has come, other than some moments of good punching on the inside. He kind of pushes Vargas down, but that clearly was not a knockdown. And Vargas, he had himself a very good round in that last round, even though there were moments for Baez.
He's hitting me behind the neck. Please watch that, ref. Please watch that. I'm going to tell him, but you're putting your head down a little bit too. Now work with the upper. Let's keep working the upper.
Hazte para atrás, por favor. Here we go. Box.
This is round number 8.
Nacho Beristain, 78-year-old Nacho Beristain in his corner.
I think he's trained 78 champions.
It is, close.
Close, right?
In the ballpark, you know.
Amazing
Marquez, Rafael Marquez, so many others. It's just, he's just a Bible of boxing.
Yeah, I did mention he trained me too.
And Abner Mares.
I was there for 4 years, and again, I boxed Vargas. So easy to box, man. I got frustrated, but you know, I did the opposite from Baez. I really just got into his chest. I did not give him time to breathe. You know, just the experience that I had. Something that I want to see from Baez. I know it's the 8th round already, but you know, you got to keep trying.
Yeah. Great uppercut a moment ago by Vargas, and that's been one of the staples. That and those left hooks to the body, now up to 51 body punches landed by Vargas according to show stats.
Compared to only 10 for Leonardo Báez. First minute gone here in the 8th. Vargas able to escape unfettered from the ropes. Stick him with the jab, go to the body with the right, and then triple pumps the jab.
And, you know, Vargas has had 3 10-rounders, or he's 3-0 in 10-round fights. He's been 12 rounds 7 times, and he's 7-0. Baez has been 10 rounds 4 times. He is 3-1 at that distance. But Baez is going to have to make something dramatic happen to win this fight.
Now from Vargas, I've seen him do pretty much everything. Great combinations, the uppercuts, straight punches, distance. One thing that I would love to see from him is the feints. Yeah. You know, you got Baez in front of you. You know he's going to come for you. Feint him so he can show you what or how he's going to come in so he can land those heavy shots.
Final minute of the 8th round, and Vargas lands a 3-punch combination through the leaky guard of Baez. Connects with that right hand on the exit. And Baez unable to sit down on his punches, unable to really get anything started here, just simply being outclassed by Ray Vargas. Final 30 seconds of the 8th. Left hook to the body, right hand upstairs by the former 122-pound champion, who would love to get into the title picture at 126, and again, a clash of heads.
And he actually had a fight with Gary Russell. Semi-agreed to, and then there was an injury involved, and so he'd like to try and make that fight.
We'd all love to see Gary Russell Jr. fight one of the best.
Is it Groundhog Day? And as Baez tries to get him in the corner, now there's the left hook that I had talked about. They end up clashing heads, so Baez, for all his trouble, just ends up getting his head against Vargas, and you could see painful expression, but he kind of created that happening, trying to get that left hook. And as we mentioned a long time ago, Vargas has been hurt by some left hooks, but not here.
Keep moving. You're doing a good job out there. Just make sure you keep using the upper. You're fighting great. You're winning the fight easily. But just keep throwing.
Box.
The bell in round number 9, scheduled for 10, and double jab from Baez.
Yeah,
but again, fighting low. He's leaning forward and allowing Vargas to light him up there. But now Baez coming back. But not a lot of steam on those punches, Al.
You know, but he was able to trap him on the ropes and at least get a little bit of work done. And I think the reason he did that is because he did use the jab, at least to kind of push him back against the ropes. I mean, I know we're being redundant a little bit, but Baez, if he would just try that, I think it would help him.
The Department of Redundancy Department.
But we all know
part of the sport.
That's key to get inside against any type, any boxer, any guy that's moving back. You got to jab your way in.
And actually, Baez being credited with 20 jabs compared to 26 from Vargas. At this stage, 1 minute gone in the 9th, and again, Vargas able to escape from the corner and then start using the jab.
Beautiful uppercuts from Vargas. You know what? In that school from Nacho Beristain, I remember Marcus throwing that really well. Finito Lopez as well throwing that really well.
Over 1,000 punches combined by both total between Vargas and Baez. No surprise in this weight class, though, with this kind of fight.
Right, you expect some activity.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, if you shout out, obviously, from Vargas, he's taking this whole fight. I would like for him to sit down now. Like pressure.
Another cut. Oh, and this one in the hair.
Here we go. Time, man, let's go. Box.
Those bleed a lot.
Yeah. Halloween was last weekend.
I've had 2 of those.
Well, Dexter returns tomorrow to Showtime.
Speaking of blood.
No, stop. No. No le pegues en la cabeza, ¿ok? ¿Está bien? Here you go. Box.
Final minute of the penultimate round. All Ray Vargas, but a gutsy effort by Leonardo Báez, who needs to land a Hail Mary.
Box.
As we are 45 seconds away from the 10th and final round, and strafing the body, shoe shining, and then going upstairs is Vargas.
The question, we know Vargas mostly goes the distance. He dominates fights, but he is up in a weight class, and he'll be facing bigger punchers and good fighters at 126. It will be asked, can you do enough power-wise to win against the upper echelon fighters?
You know, the advantage he has is height, and he knows how to use it really good.
And it's one thing, again, with all due respect, to look good against a guy like Leonardo Báez, but like you say, Al, a lot of great fights at 126.
And given Vargas' skill set, no question he can challenge people at that 126. Well, for a fight fought mostly at long range, we've had some head clashes, and most of it, I think, is from Baez coming in awkwardly, and there's another example of it. And he, strangely, is initiating this. He's getting the worst of it.
He is.
No bad deed goes unpunished, right? And you know, at the end of the round, again they would bang heads. So boy, a lot of that happening in this fight.
And eye cuts have been an issue for Vargas in 3 of his more recent fights, but it's Baez getting the worst of this in every way, shape, and form. So Leonardo Báez has made it to the 10th and final round, and he'll have to put that pedal to the metal and try to land the biggest punch of his life.
Yeah, unfortunately for Baez is that when he does try, again, no jab, he goes and hit first. And he's there to get hit with an uppercut, you know, straight right hand, or even worse, get cut.
Yeah.
So, Abner, with Ray Vargas and everything you've seen tonight, what would you like out of him in the final 2 minutes and 23 seconds?
I'd like for him to stay in the center of the ring, trade punches with Baez. You know, for him to look a little bit more spectacular. I think he can. He's letting Baez get in short, but Vargas always comes out looking better because of his combinations. There it is. Center. Well, he's pulling back now, but when he trades punches with Baez, you know you got the best combinations, so just let him go.
More body work from Vargas. He's up to 64 body punches landed in this fight, which is extraordinary for him. And on cue, he lands another one.
But you see what I mean? He lands really well, Vargas, and then he steps back, and then he, you know, of course he's going to leave. He's going to try to use the whole ring, but you already got the fight in the bag. You know, just stay in there and throw your shots. In and out, in and out. There you go. You want to come back again if you're Vargas.
Well, Vargas said anyone who thinks he's rusty, he was going to prove them wrong. He wanted to show that he can still bring the fight, and he has definitely brought the battle to Leonardo Báez. And you know what? We were a little shocked because he said this was going to be an all-out war. It's going to be a brawl from start to finish. And for a moment out, we had a bit of a ha-ha moment. Yeah, right, but he's definitely tried to make it just that.
You know, it's not like he's been running around this ring, and he's been in the pocket on many occasions. He's thrown a lot of power punches. He's just used his height reach effectively.
You know what Vargas would be best at if he was a counter puncher?
Yeah.
Because, you know, he's got the length. You go in there, you throw your 2 punches.
Yeah, we've seen.
Yes, but he boxes.
You're right.
You know, he uses the ring a little bit too much for my liking.
Yeah, because in previous fights, we've seen those long arm counters, but you're right. In this battle tonight, last 30 seconds now of what has been a comprehensive effort by Vargas, again continuing to tee off. More than 1,200 punches have been thrown in this fight. No surprise, Mexico versus Mexico.
And this is vintage Vargas winning a dominant decision. That's what he does.
Well, hold that thought. The judges have
to good point. Very good point.
So, 10 rounds in the books. Ray Vargas coming off the longest layoff of his career. And Abner Mares, what did you think about a fighter you've been high on for a long time?
Yeah, no, I like what I saw from Vargas. I know where he comes from. I know his background. I know who trains him. And he looks good. I mean, again, to mention a guy that's coming from the two-year layoff, you know, he looked good.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 10 rounds of action, we have a unanimous decision. Here are the score totals. Judge at ringside, Glenn Feldman scores the bout 99-91. Judges David Sutherland and Eric Cheek both score the bout 100-90. All three in favor of the winner and still undefeated, Ray Vargas.
Vargas giving himself an early 31st birthday present, vanquishing Leonardo Báez, improving to 35-0, and has his sights set on championship opportunities at 126 pounds. As we look at the judges' scorecards, Eric Cheek and David Sutherland had it 190, while Glenn Feldman scored it 99-91. Our unofficial score, Steve Farhood, he had it 190. Vargas pitching the shutout.